Going to look at some moments from the weekend, and as we lead into the practice tonight, where we talked about the attack phase and our final choice and the final pass that leads to moments to score goals. So we're going to start from here. Obviously, we don't play with two soccer balls, but two different moments. We're going to start. 10 has the ball in the game. If the outside back, and these are the cues we're talking about, the outside back goes wide to man mark, what space did they leave? Can we get the ball off the back of that defender into that space? So again, as that attacking mid or any player looks up, we read where the defender is. Can we attack the space that they leave? On the other side, oftentimes we play zonal defending. So if the defender squeezes in to narrow the game, we want to have really good width. So in this case, our 7, our winger stays wide. So now we can just play to our feet and then pull and drive at that player and play 1v1. So a couple moments we'll look at. So we're looking at, again, are we able to read these cues when we play? So as we look forward, Hazel's going to look up, and you can see we have Hazel facing their outside back. The outside back is facing where? So they're facing in. So what space can they not defend? They cannot defend their back. So our target would be, can we release the ball to our left winger because she now has the advantage? So can we find that ball to the left winger? So again, as you see, like her body shape starts to drive in. She's taking away the ball in the middle. She gives the ball the width up. Can we just play the ball out to that space? And then we can use Grace to get around the corner. Okay, so an example of that. Another one that we look at, again, kind of similar. As you see, Sav's driving forward. Now, the player is facing our winger, but you can see there's a really big distance between where their defender is and where Lena is on the right side. And what we'd want is Lena to continue to pull wide and continue to be even with their defender. And then we just need a ball to feet. So we just need the ball out here versus a ball to space. And again, this could have been Sav's thought, but again, as we dwelled on the ball a little bit longer, pressure arrived and disrupted our ability to execute the pass. But you can see Lena's pulled wide, and we would be able to go and receive and dribble at her and play a 1v1. Next clip. So we have a similar situation. Now, in this case, it was our holding mid. Michaela plays the ball out to Olive, and now Olive has space. So if you saw, the outside or their outside defender in their back three was in, and now we're able to drive at her and make a choice. What is really nice about this is that Liv, as the attacking mid, is now making a run off the back of their defender. So as she leaves her position to come put pressure on the ball, she leaves space, and then Olive's able to slide a ball into that space. And that's a really good moment. So again, and we'll talk about this, is we do talk a lot about what space can you not defend. It's the space off your back. So Olive plays a straight ball, and all she has to do is just straight ball into that space for Liv to run onto. Liv can then run onto it and then create a moment from here. What I like about the next part of this is we look up, we decide we can't put a ball in, and now we have our outside back on the ball, and you can see our numbers forward. What we would prefer as we progress is, can our right back drive, continue to drive, maybe play a ball in? We do play the ball back to the center back. Another chance, look at all the players that we have across our back line. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 players on their back line, and they only have 3 across the back line. So we'd really like a delivery. And unfortunately, we don't get a delivery in that moment. So again, really positive moment. All right, another one. What I want to point out here is we've talked about reading this cue, but in this case, we've had a lot of good small space play. So we were tight in this area, trying to connect passes. We're able to get our head up here. And if you look on the other side, we have a 1v1 with Olive and their defender. What I like about this is Olive is high and sitting on the defender's back shoulder. So when this ball is delivered, that player doesn't know where Olive is. So now Olive has the advantage to get here and to try to create a moment for a goal. And I believe we score off the corner from that moment. So a really good example of, again, looking at where do we have advantages, where's the space at. We look up, we've got a 1v1 on the back post and a good delivery. And our last one that we're going to look out here is, we've looked at a lot how the outside back is in tight, so we're trying to play wide. Now the outside back has gone a little bit wider and created a window for us to play. So we do have Olive into that space, and we also have our striker into the space. And so all we need from the attacking mid is to slide a straight ball into that space so that we can run onto it diagonally. And what I like about this freeze frame is the defender's face, even though she's looking at the ball, her back is into the space right in front of Liv. She's already prepared to run out and put pressure on Olive. So this little ball in behind gives us the head start and the advantage. And this is more of us collectively reading this moment together and already taking off and running onto this ball. But again, it's the right choice based on the space and what the defender cannot defend. So hopefully that helps a little bit, like shaping. We're really trying to work on reading cues. We don't want to necessarily have patterns. We want to be able to look up and read, all right, the defenders are doing this. Here's my solution. Defenders do this. Now here's my solution. And we'll talk more about this tonight at training.